Hi guys, ArchieLuxury on the Paul Pluta channel. Today guys, I'm doing a paid watch review. Very interesting question today. Should he get a Rolex Submariner or a Breguet Type 20 and a Tudor Black Bay 58? This is paid review 24QA3. Quick wristwatch check. What am I wearing for you people today? Well, I am wearing a bluesy Submariner. This is the 40mm ceramic Submariner. Okay, let's jump straight in. Hi, Arch. My name is, I have no idea how to pronounce this, Shalin from Holland, 42 years old. Man, time flies. Happily married with my wife. Well, happily married, he says, with wife. Okay, it's a bit of an oxymoron, but anyhow, we'll leave it at that. I've sent you 50 euros. I love watching your program, watching it for the last 10 years now, and love hearing your honest advice and not sugarcoating stuff. I'm currently evaluating my collection and selling some shitter vintage Omega watches, and that is going well. With the selling, I can now focus on my next purchase, which I will do next year after Archie's approval. I am not like other nasty fuckers who buy shit and ask later. So the question I have is, if you had the choice between one Rolex Submariner 2019, he doesn't tell me date or no date, but he says black dial, well, I think he means black bezel, okay, or two watches. I was thinking a Breguet Type 20, 1999, and a Tudor Black Bay 58 black dial. Ooh, that's a two. Does he get the two watches, a Breguet and a Tudor, or does he go Rolex, 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 Rolex? Really good question. We'll come back and answer it. He goes, do you think it's a good time to buy Rolex watches on the grey market, or just be patient till the price is right? Current prices seem to drop only. And also the Tudor. Also, what was he saying? Also, I think he's asking about Tudor. I'm also thinking of upgrading my watch box. Any advice on this? He currently has, what's he got here? He's got a Rolex Datejust 41 black dial, Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso. He doesn't tell me which one, but that's okay. He's got an Omega Speedmaster reduced. I know you don't like this model, but I will trade this one in later for real Moonwatch. The other shitters I have aren't even worth mentioning, getting rid of them. Anyways, looking forward to your advice. A really good question there. And I must tell you, I have owned these watches. I have owned a Tudor Black Bay 58. I've owned the Tudor Black Bay. I've just kept buying them because I love them, and it's a bit of a tricky thing. I've owned a couple Breguet Type 20s. I currently have a Type 21 in 18K rose gold. And as I'm doing this review, I'm wearing a wristwatch check Rolex Submariner two-tone bluesy. Okay. So what do I think? Let's call the watches up on the screen. So firstly, what are we talking about? What are we looking at? So let's have a look here on the screen itself. So firstly, let's have a look at the Rolex Submariner. We've seen these Submariners before. There's nothing special with that there. It's a great watch. We love our Submariners. Just a design classic. He doesn't say whether it's a date or a no date. I would probably go for the date because the no date's really trendy. I always go against the trend. So I'd go for a date personally. Now the question is, does he grab this Rolex, or instead of doing that, does he grab a Breguet, which I've got to tell you, Breguet, I'm a huge Breguet fanboy. Does he grab a Breguet for himself? This is the Type 20. That's a Type 20 there. And also get a Tudor. So it's a very, very good question. And the Tudor he's talking about is the 58, because I always felt the standard Tudor Black Bay was a little bit big. The sizing was a little bit big, and it just was a little bit, I just think I just had some difficulties with that. But okay, so what would I do? Considering that I've actually owned these watches here, that's actually a really good question. What would I do myself there? Well, I got to be totally honest with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with going for a Breguet Type 20 and a Tudor Black Bay, but fuckers. Submariner is such a classic. It's an iconic watch. And I think what the answer is, get the Submariner. It's expensive. It's always expensive. It's always an in-demand Rolex. It's expensive. Yes, it is. However, your money's pretty safe. Breguets can be difficult to sell at times. Breguet's a interesting brand. Personally, my advice to you would be get the Rolex and add a Breguet. And if you really want a Tudor, add a Tudor later. I wouldn't be sacrificing it. And that's a very good question. Do I get the two watches? But you'll always be saying, you know, I wish I got a sub. You're 42 years old. Just get the sub. Is it a good time now to buy the sub? Look, I don't have crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball to know what the best thing is, but they're always expensive. They're never that easy to get. They're always in demand. Personally, I would go for the Submariner. And the reason I say that is because it is so iconic. It is so iconic. And I love my Breguets. I've got a Breguet Type 21, and I adore it. I really, really, really adore it. But at the end of the day, the Submariner is just such a go-to watch. It's a classic. It's an icon. I would get the Submariner. I would get the sub. Please get the Submariner. You won't regret it. The Breguet and the Breguet Tudor, I mean, the Breguet's kind of cool. It's got a bit of snobbery, but you know what? Get the Submariner. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. It's like going to Tip Top Snack Bar. You won't regret going to Tip Top Snack Bar in 2023. You won't regret it. It'll fill you up. It's a good meal deal hunger buster. And I mean, the Breguets are what you have. It's not like the sub. The sub is just so, you wear it every day. Like I have, okay, after the burglary, everyone knows I got burgled in 2020, late 2022. The only watch I really wanted was the two-tone bluesy. And I have fucking worn it day in, day out. Still my go-to watch. And I got a gold Breguet. And I love my gold Breguet. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. But it doesn't compete. The Submariner is just, interestingly enough, my gold Breguet. So I've got a rose gold Type 21, which is more expensive than a Type 20. And it was cheaper than a second-hand bluesy. And it punches. I mean, I get it. It's a better watch, but I still constantly pull out the two-tone bluesy. As for the tuner itself there, they're actually pretty damn hard to sell. They've taken a beating. Tudor has really, I don't know why, I love the brand, but they have really fucked on the secondary market. They're really, really, you're going to lose money. Would I buy a tuner? I like tuners. I like Tudors. Just get the sub. The sub is the one you want. It's an icon. It's a classic. It's like a Porsche 911. Okay? So many things. people compare it to the Maserati or this or that, the Benz AMG, but a Porsche 911 is a Porsche 911. It's the icon, it's the classic, and I don't think you can go wrong. My advice to you is get the sub and then add a Breguet and a Tudor. But I wouldn't get the Breguet and the Tudor in place of the sub. You need the sub. And I say it with a heavy, heavy hand on my heart. I really, 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 really say that. Please, with the, I get the Submariner. You won't regret it. It's expensive. Just get the Submariner and then add a Breguet. That'll make you happy. But don't get the two instead of the sub. It's not going to work there. Do you think it's a good time? Do you think is a good time to buy Rolex on the grey market? Hey man, prices have come down a bit. They're not super high. They're not super low. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. They're always expensive because they're in demand. I'd buy the fucking Submariner. Buy it. You don't have to worry about resale because you're not going to sell it. You're going to keep it. Just get the sub. I don't think the prices are terrible. I can't predict. Breguet, I tell you what, you come to trade in a Breguet, you get slaughtered. You come to trade in a Tudor, you get slaughtered. That doesn't mean they're bad watches. That's just how the market is. Current prices seem to drop only, and also of the Tudor. Tudor's fucked at the moment. Resale of Tudor is fucked. It's fucked as fuck die. So, yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. I'm also thinking of upgrading my watch box. Yeah, well, I had two Louis Vuitton watch boxes, both damaged in the burglary, and I didn't want to spend fucking ridiculous money like that. And I ended up getting a Scalito del Tempo, an Italian watch box. I got it from Mr. Porter. That was pretty good. The Bofors has some good watch boxes, and Report. It depends on your budget, but you know what? A nice watch box. I'm a sucker for that shit. So that's where my allegiances have gone. Now, see if I can pull up a picture. So I went for the beautiful Scalito del Tempo. I went for the two-tone. It's a dark chocolate brown with a beige contrasting interior. I just love it. Is it worth the money? You know what? A lot of things in life aren't worth the fucking money. If it makes you happy and it gives you pleasure, fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. You got a Datejust 41. Keep that. You got a Reverso. You didn't tell me which one, but I keep that. Omega, get rid of the reduced. And enjoy your watches. Life's too short to put up with compromises. That's my advice. Guys, that's the video for today. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Don't be afraid to put some comments down below. And don't forget, guys, if you want to buy a watch in America, who do I recommend? Who do I recommend in America? There's only one dealer I recommend, and that's David S.W. David S.W. And we're going to run a jingle for David S.W. because that is who I recommend in America. David S.W. Fikers.
Hi guys, it's ArchieLuxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David S.W. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile. Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David S.W. I would highly recommend David S.W. David S.W. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David S.W. David SW, David SW.